In the research, it is important to identify the research variables which control the research output. If you take the right research variable, your research output will also be accurate. And to identify the accurate research variables, one need to do four things. First, one need to go through the literatures. Through the literature review, one can identify the variables. So let me give one example. You want to find out the saving of your customers who are the account holder in your banks. So to find out, to determine the saving of your customers, so you try to find out which are the variable which are controlling the saving behaviors of your customers. Is it their income level? Is it their profession? Is it their cultural background? Is it their family size? Is it their geographical locality? Or is it their other investment behavior? What are the variables which are affecting incomplete to the dependent variable, the saving amounts? So to here we make an assumption that these are the variable which may be or which may not be affecting the saving behavior of a customer in an or a account holder in a bank. So like this, when we want to do research regarding the forex rate or foreign exchange transactions during international trade, or we want to find out the customer retention rate and their behavior, so that retention rate and their behavior may not be similar in every areas. In European context, in Chinese context, in Japanese context, in Japan or in Europe or in US, the customer retention perspective may be different. So we need to look into on the field of in the area of customer or the accounts holder retention, what are the different variable that is controlling their behavior, and what are the research already being carried out in the field of account holder retention. So by going through the past research, one can find out it may be the variables, mm, those variable those researcher have taken, or they may have identified certain variables to do that kind of research. So we just need to make a note of those variable. So for this, to identify the variable, again we have to do this literature review in this format. Write down all the papers in one column, then in another column identify which are the independent variable, and in the third column you find out which are the dependent variable that the researcher has taken for his further research. So going through the several research paper, we will identify some of the dependent and independent variable in certain area or certain topic of research is almost similar. So because they have already gone through a lot of tests, they have identified, they have checked, and they want to do the measurement of retention on those variables. So the first way to identify variables, go through exhaustive literature review and identify the independent variable and dependent variables. Second, you go through certain kind of newspaper analysis, go through some of the website records, go through some of the secondary data records, go through some of already publicized some of the cases or situational analysis. You go through them and check the variable which are controlling or being identified by the researcher in the literature review, are they same in those cases or in those problems. So then third, you have to do your own observation. You have also your own observation. You have also your own experiences in past. You have been observing these things since long, since your childhood. You have also create some perspective. You also note down your own variables that you feel are useful for this research framework, that you can note down your own assumptions. So then fourth, you have to ask some of the key person. The key person in the case of your customer retention in a bank is the customer relationship managers. You ask them on what basis they used to find out which customer will retain, which customer will leave them, what can be the most important factor or the variable that can control your research. So identification of the research variable plays an important role for your research findings. So once you identify all the research variables, then you make a exhaustive list of research variables. Then you ask some of the experts to rate or to find out. At least you ask 9 to 10 experts to finalize your list of variable on which you want to do research in your area of context. In your area of context, they may identify maybe hardly out of 30 variables, what you identify maybe hardly 10 or 15 variables which are useful for your research analysis. You just make list of those research variable, then just get rid of other variable for further research. Once you identify those variables, then you find out the model, the research model that is being used or that is being adopted in past. So research model means, let me give you an example. So we found that the customer, the bank service influence the customer retention. So we check that the bank services provided by the bank, then customer retention. This independent variable is the services provided by the banks. So you can make a list of services. Then customer retention, you can do a correlation or regression. The dependent variable, the customer retention, and the independent variable, the services. But you found that it is not just bank services or customer retention. In between bank services and customer retention, you identify another intermediate variable that is controlling their relation, that is the literacy rate in terms of the internet use or in terms of the digital banking use or in terms of their knowledge about the financial product. So it's not just customer service that leads to retention, but customer service effectively retain a customer on the basis of the intermediate variable, that is their literacy in terms of digitalization or in terms of financial product. So this is the way you will find one variable, independent variable service is influencing the dependent variable, the customer retention, on the basis of the intermediate variable, the literacy. This way we have to prepare some of the models. So there are so many different models we'll be finding out in the literature review itself, where you will be finding a group of variable together, they are controlling my dependent variable. Let me give one example. The fraud rate in the banking or financial operation, the fraud and scams that happen in the case of banking and financial operation, basically in the case of digital internet banking. So this fraud and this scam, the fraud rate may be influenced by a group of variables. Now the model here, we have to build that group, we have to identify the group of variables. The group of variable, maybe there is loophole in the internet system, there may be cheating by the bank employees. There may be illiteracy of the customer who is handling those digital, or there may be some hacking process that is happening. So there may be 4 5 independent variable, those who are leading to the bank fraud or this digital loophole. So this is the way we have to design different models. Those models we can take it further for our study or for the validation. Once you get some variable, then on the basis of those variable, then we can go for our hypothesis testing. Hypothesis testing. So hypothesis testing is nothing but it is try to establish relationship between two different variable or two different your concept. Like we find out that we want to find out in bank uh, this service the customer service or the services provided by the banks is influencing the services provided by the bank is influencing the customer retention. So my proposition, better the service, better is the customer retention. It is my proposition, it is my hypothesis. Now my null hypothesis will be there is no relationship between services and customer retention. My alternative hypothesis that no, there is a relationship between two. So this hypothesis is nothing but most of the cases it tries to establish a relationship between two different variables. Or it can be hypothesis can be standalone also. Suppose my bank is in the area of Nariman Point in Mumbai. So what I am claiming on an average, my account holder they do have a saving deposits or they do have a deposit in our bank more than 1.5 lakhs. So that what I'll do, I'll go through the all the bank account. Then this is my uh, jet kind of research where I'm claiming on an average my account holder are having the saving of 1.5 lakhs. So the hypothesis will be that on an average, the population average is equal to more than is equal to 1.5 lakhs. And my alternative hypothesis will be on an average, my account holder are having saving greater than 1.5 lakhs. So whatever I want to prove in the hypothesis that I should put in my alternative hypothesis. Whatever I want to prove, whether if I am claiming that they are having account deposit more than 1.5 lakhs, so my alternative hypothesis I should write first that on an average account holder of this bank having deposit more than 1.5 lakhs. That is my alternative. So the null hypothesis will be no, it is equal to 1.5 lakhs. So in alternative hypothesis, it will never take the equal to sign. It will always take either greater than, either not equal to, or it will take less than sign. So the alternative hypothesis can be for the relational hypothesis or it can test in standalone. So let me give another example of relational hypothesis. Relational hypothesis, I find that in my research in behavioral finance, I found the person who are suffering from overconfidence, they do over analysis in the stock market. So overconfident investor, they do good amount of analysis, too much analysis on the research market. So this overconfidence is the input variable and the dependent variable is the too much analysis. So my null hypothesis, there is no relationship or the overconfidence does not influence the over analysis behavior of a person. In the alternative hypothesis, The overconfidence influence the stock market analysis behavior. So this is the way we have to identify the different variable, and we have to check those variable which are relational hypothesis or standalone hypothesis. Standalone hypothesis we can test through J test, or we can test through this two sample J test. But relational hypothesis we have to test from the regression coefficients. In the case of the literature review, before finding out those variables, we have to go through research literature review exhaustively to identify the research gap or the research problem. We may find that there are a lot of research being carried out. Let me give an example. Before choosing the topic or identifying the problem statement, so I find out that there are a lot of research being carried out in the banking, the customer and the bank relationship. A lot of research being carried out in the customer and the bank relationship, the bank service provider and the customer relationship. So customer relationship management is very prominent, and thousands of research paper being there. But I want to do a research on the basis of customer relationship, because it's not that only the account holder is having relationship with the bank service provider. The account holder, one account holder of the same bank, may have certain kind of relationship with the other account holders, maybe formal, informal, family, friend, or in term of as a layman, or as a account holder of the same bank, they may have be doing some sort of interaction. They want to know about the bank. There may be some relation. Those relation, there may not be enough research in that field. So then I'll get a research gap. No, there are a lot of research being carried out in the field of bank and customer relationship, but hardly there is any research being carried out in between the customer in the field of customer relationship. So then what we'll do, we'll pitch or we'll think of a topic that we want to find out, we want to do a prepare a research paper, we want to do a research in this new area of research. Then your problem statement, identifying the behavior or the relationship among the customers or the account holder in a bank or any financial organization, institution. So this is the way. Then suppose, let me give an example. You want to find out the relationship of customer and the bank's service providers. During the normal day, lot of papers are there. But the new situation like this, slowdown or lockdown, during these days, how a bank professional or bank service providers are coming in touch with the customers, how they are gaining their faith, how they are building up their business, how they are broadening their customer base. We want to do a study on that. And you went through a lot of research paper, you go through the past, try to finding of 2008 crisis or other this Black Monday crisis. You want to find out some perspective. You found that you do not have adequate data or the researches on that. Then you identify, no, this is a new area of research, and I should do some finding, I should do some analysis. Then you can get into that area. That is the way you identify the problem. So problem identification is very important. Why? Without identifying the problem correctly, if we'll start doing research, we'll do lot of mistake. So what Peter Drucker used to say, a answer for a wrong answer for a right question is 1,000 times better than a right answer for a wrong question. Means if I am doing research, if I identify a actual and the real problem, and if I am trying to do some research on those to find out solutions, still if I go wrong, then also it is acceptable. But if I have identify problem in a wrong way, I have identify a wrong problem, if I have done a mistake in that, and now I am doing excellent research. It's just like a doctor which diagnoses the disease, a wrong disease, and by doing a wrong diagnosis, so this leads to your wrong treatment. If a person is suffering from jaundice and doctor identify that he is suffering from cancer and he is going for lot of high-end medicine, good surgery, good kind of chemo, so it is wrong. So diagnosis of the problem of the disease is very very important, and one should put good amount of time in identifying, in confirming the research problem. So once you identify the research problem, you can discuss, you can verify, you can cross verify. Then you should go about those research problem. On the basis of research problem, you should develop research questions. Research questions means suppose you want to find out the customer and the service provider relationship during the days of this chronic disease and lockdowns during the present time. So then the research question will be, what are the strategy followed by the bank to keep their customer happy? Second research question you may have, what are the services provided by bank or initiative taken by banks to increase their customer base? This on the basis of these two research questions, so now you can frame the objective. So first problem identification, then framing research questions, and for by framing after framing research question, you find out your objective of the research. What do you mean by objective of the research? Now you identified the problem or the question, that what are the different form of services provided to keep customer happy, what are the different term of mode of contact they are developing to broaden their customer base. So these two questions, what should be the objective? Objective is to go through, to do a study to identify the variables that is influencing customer satisfaction. So all of you can understand the first objective is having a group of independent variable that is influencing the dependent variable, that is the customer satisfaction. That's the first objective. Second objective, the what are the different initiative mode of communication developed by the banks to increase their customer base. So customer base increase is my dependent variable. Initiative taken by the bank is my independent variable. So like third I can take what should be, what are the initiative taken by the bank. Then through research finding you try to find out what should be the strategy followed by the bank to make customer even more satisfied, or what strategy followed by the bank to do marketing or their uh, customer increment better. So like this, one should put hardly in max 3 to 4 objective on the basis of the research questions. So first, literature review, identifying the problem. From identification of the problem, you identify the research questions. By identifying the research question, now you frame your objectives. On the basis of objective, now you have to identify the variables. Then to identify the variable, again you have to go through the various literature in an exhaustively to identify those variables. Then you have to follow the strategy what we have already discussed, the identification variable through observation, by contacting key person, by going through the internet or different records, or by going through your literature. Once you identify your variable, once you identify the independent and dependent variable. Once you identify the relationship among the variable, then you have to design a research model or research design, what a research model. So once you complete the research model, then we'll go about your data collection or questionnaire design, or you will go about the different survey method. Then we'll go about further research of the different source of data collection. So the data collection and questionnaire designing, that we'll understand in the next topic. Thank you. So find out your area of interest. You go through the research topics, then you formalize your research problem, then you start doing your research. Thanks.